Welcome to this week's episode of Football Chaos. It's week 16. Before we take care of that, let's go back and look at how I did in week 15. In week 15, I went 8-8, got a lot of games wrong that I weren't happy about, but you lose some, you win some. The games I did get wrong, though, I got the Broncos over the Chargers. I got that one wrong. That was a big upset. Really bounced the Broncos down there and made that division race a little interesting. The Eagle game against the Vikings looked really good without AP. That was pretty impressive by their part. The Dolphins are finding a way to sneak themselves in the playoffs. They beat the Patriots. I didn't see that coming. I went with Jacksonville over the Bills, but that was a toss-up. I expected it to go either way. The Cowboy-Packer game looked like my pick was going to be right, and then the Packers turned it around. I'll talk about that a little later. I had the Saints beating the Rams. I don't know what happened with the Saints. That was a big mind blow for me. Of course, they were on the road, so what do you expect? Then the Bengals-Steelers game, the Bengals came out flat. They lost that one. They needed to win. And the Lion-Raven game, big field goals, win games sometimes. And the Lions didn't win the game, apparently. Next, we have my 3 wows for the week. And the first wow, speaking of big football games and big field goals, Justin Tucker, 61-yard game-winning field goal, just sneaks through the crossbar and the upright, right in the corner. It was an epic game-winning kick. Good for that second-year rookie. He's quite impressive, and I'm just amazed by him. Wow. My next second wow is the Packers coming back against the Cowboys. They were down 23 points at halftime. In the second half, they were able to score touchdowns on all their drives, but the last one, where it took 3 kneels just to ensure the win. Dez Bryant walks off the field early. This is a big upset for the Cowboys. Packers look hot. Hopefully they get Aaron Rodgers back this week. That was a big win for them. Go Packers. Wow. And then my next one is Jamal Charles, fantasy stud. He got 5 touchdowns this week, 4 receiving and 1 rushing, with over 215 yards of total offense. He just looks sick. And did I mention he got 4 of those touchdowns in the first half? Wow. Alright, that brings me into week 16. Time to look at how I predict these games to go. My first game, since there is no Thursday game, first time all season, we're starting right into Sunday's games with the Dolphins over the Bills. The Dolphins are fighting for that playoff spot. It's in their hands. I think they'll take care of the Bills. They got the motivation. The Bills really don't have much to motivate them anymore, but a better draft pick. Next, we have the Panthers versus the Saints. I got the Panthers winning this one. Why? It's in Carolina. Outside the Superdome, the Saints are terrible. I got the Panthers winning this one, no questions. Next, we have the Bengals versus the Vikings. The Bengals scared me with last week, but I'm still going to pick them over the Vikings. I think the Vikings get AP back. Hopefully they're still in that mode to just upset people, but you never know this late in the season. Next, we have the Broncos over the Texans. One of the best teams in the league versus the worst. No questions there. Don't have to go into much detail. Next, the Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm picking the Titans. This is another game like last week for Jacksonville. I thought it could go either way. I'm going against Jacksonville this time, however. Next, Chiefs versus the Colts. It's in Kansas City, going with the Chiefs. I know the Colts like to upset the big dogs, but I'm just going to go with Chiefs this year because it is in Kansas City. Next, Cowboys versus the Redskins. Kirk Cousins was impressive last week. They're going to play him again this week, showcase him off a little more. They're trying to get a draft pick for him, I'm sure. But I am going with the Cowboys here. They have a lot more to play for. Next, we have the Browns versus the Jets. I'm going with that rock-solid D in the Browns. Yeah, they get up a lot of points to a high-powered Bears offense, but I think they can handle the Jets just fine. Next, the Rams versus the Buccaneers. If it wasn't for last week's blow-up against the Saints, I wouldn't pick the Rams. I'd go Bucs, but I'm going Rams this week. Hopefully they keep things rolling. Next, Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Going Seahawks. You can't beat that team. They're fighting for that home field advantage, and I think this is going to just destroy the Cardinals. Next, we have the Lions versus the Giants. I'm really rooting for the Giants to have a better performance than they did last week. The Seahawks just made them look terrible. even though, well, they are. But I think they can be a lot better than that. That being said, I think the Lions have this game. Next, we have the Patriots versus the Ravens. This is a tough one for me. The Ravens have something to play for. The Patriots have something to play for. I think the Ravens are peaking at the right moment. Patriots are starting to slump. I am going Patriots here. I'm probably going to regret that decision, but I just don't think the Ravens can win kicking field goals against the Patriots. Next, we have the Chargers versus the Raiders. No brainer for me. I'm going Chargers. Next, the Packers versus the Steelers in Lambeau Field. That's why I'm picking the Packers. I don't think Rodgers is going to come back this week. They're very hesitant and questionable about him. They won't make their decision till Friday, and that's been the case since pretty much he broke his shoulder. So I don't see it changing this week at all. They'll drag it out till Friday and say he's not playing. So I'm going Packers versus Steelers on Matt Flynn's shoulders. Eagles versus the Bears. I'm going Eagles because it is in Philadelphia. I think it'll be a fun game to watch. I'm glad it's a Sunday night game. I'm excited for that game. Pretty high hyped up game. Should be interesting. Even though the Eagles don't have much to play for, because next week matters a whole lot more than this week. And the Monday night game, we have the 49ers versus the Falcons. Now the Falcons losing this one, hands down. They have nothing to play for. They haven't been really good. They're getting healthy finally. Unfortunately, not soon enough. And the 49ers, they're fighting for that 5th seed in the playoffs, so they got to win just to get a chance for at least one home field advantage game. And those are my picks this week. Good luck to everyone out there in their fantasy football finals, the big Super Bowls for that. Not a lot of people play after week 16. If you're in the championship, good luck. If you're in just a corresponding game, just have fun. Destroy the other guy. Give you a little bit of bragging rights at the end of the season. You guys have a good day, and I will see you next week.